Hello everyone. Welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll. If you're new here, welcome, welcome all. This is a shifting video. I'm going to jump right into what happened. You may or may not hear any noises in the background. I have no idea. In my last video, the light wasn't working. I broke my other lamp and I got a new one. This one I'm not going to break this time. And actually it was already breaking apart anyway, so I really hate this white light. I think it's my bulbs. I think I keep getting the wrong bulbs, and it's a white light. I don't know why I hate it so much. I really like the yellow light better. It's something about it. It just gives it a different look. I really hate this look on camera. Maybe I hate how it makes me look on camera. I'm not really 100% sure. That didn't move right. I always wonder how my camera looks, how you guys can see me. I'm gonna jump right to what happened. Also, I'm having a wardrobe malfunction. Yay! Don't we love those guys? So I went back to the My Hero Academia universe. And it was my day to keep Frodo. And so I took Frodo to the park. I was going to like pull him in a stroller, but then I thought, you know what? I kind of want to have some like contact with him. So I got one of those baby straps that you carry, you carry Frodo in. So I was carrying Frodo in front of me, his arms and legs and stuff hanging out of the little carrier, out of the little carrier. And so like I'm going past the park and there's these little kids playing. And, I walk past them and Frodo is like, he looks over at them and like shows interest. He wants to, I guess, play with the kids. But it's like, Frodo, you don't know how to play yet. You're only like 9 months. I mean, you don't actually know. And so the bench I'm walking past, there's like a mom on there and she's clearly breastfeeding her baby. I mean, you can't see that you can't actually see, but you can see what she's doing because she has her shirt covered. Hey, I mean, the baby's hungry, baby has to eat. So even though it's a public park, it's fine. So I'm not like I'm not irritated or annoyed by it. It's just the fact that you have to do what your baby wants. Who's willing to sit there and let their baby suffer, right? Unless it's for a good cause. And we'll get back to that later. So, there's the other kids. They kind of notice Frodo. They kind of notice me holding Frodo, and Frodo is kind of like reaching for them. And so, like, I slightly turn my body away so that he can't really see them. But then he clearly wants to like keep trying to like reach over, and I'm just like, okay, and I'm like putting his hands down, like, no. And he starts getting fussy. So I'm like, maybe he just wants to get out of this little carrier thing. So I pick him up, I take it out of him, I'm just holding him. Well, now he's trying to get down. And so like I'm like, fine, I'll put him down. I'm one of those, I'm willing to be one of those open moms that's kind of like, I don't know what to call them. Let your baby like dabble into things, let them get dirty or experience things, but at the same time, I have to be careful of Frodo because of the germs or whatever. I'm gonna tell you about this thing that happened, okay? So I put Frodo down, and there's a little playpen, which I've never seen it before in real life. It was green, and we don't have those here. Like, those do not exist at the park. But apparently there's like a little sandbox and the other kids are playing in it. So I put Frodo down, and I would not let Frodo out of my sight because I didn't want him to like wander off. Not to mention, he has this quirk where he can just float away. So I'm standing as close as I can to him. I'm kind of like right up on him, and so the kids in the sandbox, they're a little bit older than them. There's this little girl with pigtails, cutest little thing ever. Red hair, blue eyes. She kind of reminds me of like strawberry shortcake or something, but like I don't know how to describe her. Her hair is just really curly, really cute kid. But she can walk. She's like standing up. She starts walking over to Frodo, and she has a passy around her neck, a little binky, and it's the cutest thing ever. And I'm watching her like walk up to him. So Frodo sits on the edge of the sandbox, and I'm just watching him. And for some reason, this baby decides to take off her she took off her binky and she gave it to Frodo. And Frodo took the binky and he got ready to put it in his mouth, and I hurried up and took it out of his hand, and I was like, no. And I took it out of his hand, but the way I did it, it made it look like I slapped it out of his hand because it kind of fell on the ground. I didn't slap it out of, okay. I did not slap it out of his hand. I grabbed it from his hand, but it looked like, I guess I was too aggressive the way I grabbed it. It looked like I slapped it out of his hand. So the mom sitting behind me goes, you know, is it your first time? And I just like glanced over my shoulder. I just kind of want to ignore her because like, lady, it's none of your business what I'm doing. And I know she's probably just trying to like make conversation because she's like lonely in the park. But I didn't come here for you. I came here for Frodo. So the other kid comes over and she's like trying to, you know, she gets ready to get over to where Frodo is, and I just pick him up. So Frodo's like crying and whining. I go, okay, baby, it's all right. And I'm, you know, and the baby girl sitting down. She's just looking up at me. I'm like, okay, let's go home. So I put him back in really fast, and the lady, she's like watching me walk away with Frodo. So we go back to the house. On the way to the house, I like concoct a plan, because last time you guys remember when Hawks was saying that, you know, he wanted to take Frodo to the amusement park and all this, and we got into that huge argument about, you know, Frodo's existence and him being here, and how, you know, not now, you have a child, you have a responsibility, Hawk, so you gotta take care of him now. So I came up with this perfect plan. when we got to when we got to Hawks' house, I gave him Frodo, and I said, you know, I was thinking, I think Frodo should get on, you know, a motorcycle with me. I think we should cycle together and see the countryside. I even have like a car seat and a helmet. I was looking at a little baby helmet I can put on him. And Hawks is just, he's looking at me. He's kind of frowning. He's like, you're not getting on a motorcycle. And I was like, oh, come on. I go, you know, Frodo needs to be able to see the world. He needs to be able to experience these things early in his life. And he's like, yeah, you're not taking my 9-month-old baby on a freaking motorcycle. Have you lost your damn mind? And I was like, but I already got the helmet. And he's like, haha, very funny. I was like, Frodo, do you want to come with mommy? Frodo, come on. I'm doing this, and Frodo is like, meh. And he's like putting his hands out, and he's trying to like reach for me. And then Hawks is like, no, he's like holding him. And I'm like, okay, well. So then we walk further into the house, and he's like, I was just about to make dinner. Do you want dinner? And so like I'm looking around, you know, Hawks' house, and I'm just like, I guess. I was like, what are we having for dinner? He's like, spaghetti. So he goes to the kitchen. He's stirring the spaghetti, and he's like, I need to add some things to it. Can you hand them to me out of the cabinet? So I'm giving him the seasonings and the ingredients. He's opening them. He's holding Frodo, and he's like, okay, Frodo. He's putting it in Frodo's little tiny hand, and Frodo is doing this, and he's like guiding his hand though, like, okay, this is how much we put in. Like he's teaching him how to freaking cook. Our kid is gonna be like a freaking chef. Are you kidding me? I know this isn't a big deal, but I was not expecting to see that. Like their bond is so like, him and Endeavor, like Frodo and Endeavors have a really close bond, but him and his daddy, their bond is like is different. It's like spot on. So I asked him, I said, you know, so Frodo is 9 months. I said we need to talk about, you know, what happens when he becomes older, when he starts going to school with kids. And he's like, yeah, we can talk about that after dinner. So we have our dinner and everything, and he's like, well, Frodo, you know, he goes, I think we need to change him like in a little bit. So I'm gonna go get us some masks, you know, the little gas masks to put over our face. It's not really, the masks are just like plastic, um, and you just cover your face with it for about however long it takes. And so for my mask, I can just hold mine up to his face, but he has the one that goes over his nose and his mouth, and it actually just, I mean, you can breathe in it, so it's just a regular like just cover off for your face. So we changed Frodo and everything, and then I'm like, I want to try something with Frodo. And he goes, okay. So Frodo is crying. Um, and he's like, well, I should get Frodo, I should get Frodo's bottle ready so we can give him his bottle when he lay down. He's like, I'm like, no, just wait a minute. And he goes, what are you waiting for? I'm like, just wait. So Frodo's fussing and crying. He's like, ah! And I'm looking to see if I'm looking to see if Frodo's gonna like get angry. Like how, if he when he gets frustrated, like what happens? Is Frodo gonna, is he gonna throw a fit? Is he gonna be patient? Is he gonna wait? Is he gonna blow up? Does he have a temper? Is he like me or is he like daddy? Because I know mommy has like a bad temper and mommy will blow up in like a short period of time, especially if we keep ignoring her and stuff. But I know daddy is very patient and he's like, I don't know, he'll wait. He'll wait it out. Even at the times when he got me, he was like waiting patiently, like lurking, like waiting to like pounce, that sort of thing. So I wanted to see like what kind of personality Frodo had. So I said, let's just wait a little bit longer. I said, we need to look and we need to see because pretty soon he's going to be in a situation where he's with other kids. And I want to see if he gets angry or blows up on them. So I let him cry for a good 3 minutes. I watched him, you know, and I wanted to see what he did. And then I was like, okay, so 3 minutes went by. And then Hawks is like, well, and I'm like, no, not yet. He goes, what the heck? So he's still fussing. Like 4.5 minutes go by, and I'm waiting. And then Frodo is like, like that. And he's like, but he doesn't release his quirk. I was trying to see if he would do that because right now it only comes out in his way. So I was trying to see if he would release his quirk. I was trying to see if, he would like, make his teeth come out or like, get mad and bite or whatever. But he did it. And then after that, he just kind of cried. So then finally I was like, okay, Frodo, I gave him his bottle, laid him down. So he's laying down drinking his bottle. So Hawks got like really angry. He was like pissed. And he's just like, I would never, ever for a second let him like suffer. I'm not going to neglect my child. Not even for 5 minutes. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care. We can find out whatever we have to the hard way. And I look at Hawks and I'm like, I don't think you understand where Frodo comes from. I don't think you understand. Like the fate of the world depends on this. I needed to test it out for myself and see. And so like we're outside of his room talking, and our voices are getting louder and louder. And I go, Hawks, we're too loud. And he's like, you know what? Come on. So we go in the living room, and he's like, I don't feel like we should have did that. Why should we let him suffer? I go, first off, okay, Frodo was not suffering. He was whiny and crying and fussy. That's normal in a baby. Number two, okay, he's not going to remember me neglecting him for 5 minutes when he gets older. He's going to forget about this whole thing. He's not going to remember babyhood. So it's fine that, I'm doing this now. At least I'm not waiting until he grows up or gets older and then decide, let's see how he does if I slap him. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying, like, this is the closest thing I'm willing to do to even test it out. So Hawks was like, tell me about where he's from then. I go, you've been there. Did you see anything? Hawks is like, I did not see anything. We were in a lab. I say, okay, what kind of lab was it? He goes, a white lab. So Frodo was inside of a tube and it had an umbrella symbol. I said, what color was it? He said, it was red and white. I said, okay, anything else? He said, kind of grayish. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, there's buttons. And then there were these other weird looking creatures. He goes, but he couldn't see them because the glass was like foggy. And he didn't try to look. He just took Frodo and went. And I said, you guys never explained how the rescue went with Frodo. And according to him, that portal guy from earlier on, way, way earlier on when Fox was trying to have me give birth way before we were a thing, that doctor in there basically was able to like stop time, freeze everything. They were able to take Frodo, shift him to their reality so that he could live there. So I told Hawks, I said, listen, I think that you should go there with me. We should go together. And Hawks is like, I don't know. And I said, come on, we should definitely go there together. I think it would be a great idea. And he goes, I know it would be a great idea. And he like pulls me into him and like, like make up sex for our argument. And I'm like, that wasn't even a real argument. And, of course I can't help but give in to him. And so, Frodo isn't asleep yet. So I kind of have been like holding back a little bit from him because I'm just like, the baby has been around us this whole time. And I don't know, like, it's not that I'm uncomfortable. I want Hawks to kind of experience the Resident Evil universe. He can understand why I am the way I am. And the doctor, I think whoever that doctor guy was knows what it's like there. He has to know because he's being so cautious with Frodo. And my only other incident I had was the one where I went to the school and I accidentally shot Kirishima. Yeah, there was that. Yeah, I was just looking at whatever. So we made a plan, me and Hawks. Tomorrow night, we are supposed to shift to Resident Evil together. And so, like, we sat down in Endeavor and we sat down Yoshinori and we talked to them about what we were going to do. And Endeavor is like completely confused about everything, okay? He doesn't understand anything about shifting. He doesn't understand Frodo. He said he's even more confused now that they explained it to him. And they were like, well, so he kept asking, Frodo was brought here because someone gave birth to him, but it just wasn't you. And I'm like, right. He goes, but he has all your DNA. I go, yes, he has all my DNA. Like, my DNA is in him. And he's like, he just doesn't understand. He asks the same questions over and over again. And Endeavor thinks what we're doing is impossible. He thinks that we're asking for, like, he said that's for something like not possible. And I don't understand why he thinks that when, well, shoot, there's a good reason he thinks that. I don't know. Whatever the reason. But I told Toshinori, and Toshinori is just like, I want to go too, you know. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I feel like Toshinori has been here a couple times, and I told him if he couldn't physically touch me, try and move something in my room, and I'll know, and I'll find it later. Well, I do find stuff moved around in here, as if he's like in here, like touching things and messing with it. Even the little, even the mini All Might behind me. You know, I used him as like a pin cushion. I had a pin in him. Well, the pin was gone. Like, and then I found it later, but like it was gone. He had it like right in his arm. So I'm like, I wonder if that's symbolic of him, like me carving the hearts on his chest or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. But so Hawks and I are supposed to go tomorrow night to Resident Evil, and that way he can understand it a little bit better. Yes, Frodo is from Resident Evil 4, and he does not understand what a regenerator is, so and Frodo looks nothing like that. Like, he's adorable. I'm gonna try to draw him again. I might cry if I do the picture for you guys, because I don't know, I can't get him to look right. Like, the portrait I draw of him does not look like him at all. So then we made our plan, and then afterwards I left and I went home with Toshinori. And so, like, we were sitting down, we were just snuggled up watching a movie. Everything was, perfectly innocent. I just laid against him. I enjoyed like his warmth. He was like, hugging me the whole time. And I was like, I can't remember the last time I received a hug from him. And oh, you guys remember my first time like encountering him and where we are now? I was just looking at like how far we came. And I'm just like, wow. And then, of course, everything's supposed to stay innocent, but then, of course, he starts kissing me, and then we're making out, and then he like takes off my shirt, and yeah, this time I was not wearing a dress. I was just wearing a regular shirt and some slacks. Those are regular khaki pants, and so we had a nice makeout session. And then he was like sucking on my nipples, and then he went from there, and then he went down lower, and he started taking off my pants, and then he took his shirt off, and then I was touching him because I wanted to pleasure him, and then I wanted his love milk, and then so then on the couch, yeah, on the couch he was like penetrating me like so deeply, and just like I feel like it's different. We're more connected. We're more like, and I wonder if it's because he came here and had like interaction with all my things. Like if I come here one day and I see him freaking sitting down on my bed, I'm just gonna freak out, guys. I don't know. Okay, it's freaking crazy. Okay, so I actually saw his freaking shadow, guys. I'm sorry I got loud, but I saw his shadow. And then the time after that, I saw the outline of his body. And now it seems like he's starting to become more fleshy. And like, I don't know if I'm going to freak out. I mean, it's different when I go there and see him because everything around me is within that universe. But him coming here is like something completely different. I just was not ready or prepared for that. And I still don't think I am. Sorry for the like mini freak out, but yeah. But I'm also really excited to see what's going to happen with Resident Evil. Will I end up by myself instead of there with Hawks? Will I end up by myself instead of there with Toshinori? Maybe. I maybe might, but we did have that soul to soul connection, and oh gosh, I don't know. Like I don't know, guys. I don't know what to do about that. I kind of want to ask Toshinori to stop coming, not because I don't want him here, but because um, if he I don't want to ruin. If he starts coming here, will I still be able to go to him and everything be exactly the same? Will things change if he's coming here now? Even if it's just little fragments of him. How much of him is going to be different when I go back there? If it's the actual him from that reality. You guys piecing together what I'm saying? If the him from that reality keeps leaving, is he still going to be there when I come there? Or will something happen because he's traveling? Because I'm going back to that reality, I have to, because that's the reality where Frodo is. Even if I choose another My Hero Academia, like even if I like try and go to a different one, I mean Frodo won't be there. It'd just be him there, and their circumstances will probably be different or whatever. And I don't know. Things just don't work out for me all the time when I shift other places. That's the reason I only shift to, Toshinori. That's the reason I only shift to that reality. Let's see. What else happened? I did not go to the school. Um, I stayed home because I wasn't ready to go back there. I did one time I did start going back to the school. I didn't really get I got like a lot of students coming. Yeah, I did. I don't think it was really for me though. I'm waiting for the next festival. I'm waiting for their next their next amusement park date where they go back. I'm considering maybe taking Frodo, but Frodo is gonna have to be like in the stroller the whole time. He doesn't really need to go. But if I wait another month, I might feel better because at least he'll be 10 months and 11 and 12. Right now, Frodo can stand. He can't walk. He can't actually walk yet. So, I mean, there's that too. I have a lot to look forward to. I really do. And, um, wow, my mind is just blown because of, Toshinori's traveling here. I mean, Hawks trying to go there to Resident Evil. Just everything. And I'm trying to remember if that's everything that happened, if I'm telling you guys everything. I think that's all. Nothing really eventful and exciting has been going on there lately. I've been going there just to see Frodo. Mainly it's been Frodo. Me and Hawks have our little pleasure dates. Um, he started becoming like Toshinori, where he just puts me in a closet somewhere and just, yeah. I mean, I'm just in the closet with him and I don't come out the same. So it's like, you know, there was that with the school. And then, I just stopped going because, like I said, I'm not okay with being a study hall teacher when people just come there to study. I really have no interaction with the students. They come in, they say hi to me, they do their work, they leave. There's not really anything for me to teach them. I feel like I should be one of those classes for kids who, like, I don't know, like I'm thinking maybe like a gym teacher or something. I'm not one for sitting down in front of a whole bunch of students. They're all sitting down, they're all working on something different. So there's no way to really engage them together because they all have different. I get kids from, class A1 and then A2 and then B1 and then B2 and here on and so forth, and random kids in my class. Some kids I don't even know. It's different ones all the time, and they don't come every day. They come like whenever. It's like random. So I don't know how to explain to you guys better, but so I don't really feel like I have a connection with them. So I feel like I want to do like maybe I'll be like, the outdoors gym teacher or something. I don't know. But I'm gonna tell Principal Nezu it's not really for me. Plus working there and my regular job has been kind of wearing me down. That's why I stopped going. It was fun getting to play with Keigo. It's really all the only fun I had at the school, and because it was risque. But there really weren't any kids in the class or anything like that anywhere near us. So it was kind of harmless. It was just the idea of being in a public place that was like empty or whatever. So let's see what else. What else is happening with my life? There's a lot. Christmas is coming up. You guys know Christmas is my favorite holiday. I can't wait. And I want to do some more gaming stuff, but you know what? My laptop or whatever is just not up to date right now. At some point, I'll get a new one and set everything up to show you guys. But right now, I can't do anything with it. So I'm just gonna accept that. Let's see. I guess I'll end the video here. If you guys like this video, don't forget to give this video a like. Give this video a like. If you didn't like the video, you know what to do. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when other videos like this one become available. Ding! And I'll see you guys in my next video. I'm going to end it here. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye!